Millions of people around the world would love to create a course and make lots of money with courses. You know what the problem is? It's hard. It takes a lot of time. It is difficult. You don't know what to write about. It's so annoying, right? And that's precisely why Olia Stasiuk has created Bonsai AI that could help you to create AI video courses in 15 minutes. And that's precisely why we're going to talk to her to find out about how that is possible for you as a coach to have your video course created in 15 minutes. And Olia is the CEO of Bonsai AI, offering cutting-edge AI-powered products. And these products reduce operational costs and time around employee learning by 99%, providing instant translations in over 29 languages, and professional digital trainer twins that enable global scaling 50 times faster than traditional methods. So the first question is, what's the secret to your success? And why did you start this Bonsai AI video course platform? Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services.
Hi, Lily. Thanks for having me. And definitely a great question to start. Funny enough, my first book called 66-Day Success Formula, so kind of feels weird to answer in it. At the same time, I think the true success of any business leader lies in knowing yourself and personal development. And there has been nothing more important on my journey to learn who I am and the power of consistency, the power of mindset for the success. And that's really what my first book is about. And that's how I kind of got to my Bonsai AI idea. So Bonsai AI was born out of two things. It was born of a moment in my life when I came to realizing that I'm really successful. I have the salary and the role I wanted, but it felt empty inside. And I really asked myself, what's my purpose, And I went back to see what I absolutely loved in life. And that was really delivering training courses, seeing the light bulb in people's eyes when they learn a new topic. But I was so frustrated with how long it would take us to create a training course, how much money it would take, and literally it would not always even be to the results we wanted because of simple constraints, like you could not have your executives in the video studio every day, and you would need to create hundreds of courses. And ultimately, I jumped into AI. I've quickly realized the power behind it, learn a lot, and challenge my co-founder to automate things like video creation, document transformation. And we were truly the first on the market who got even close to that. So that's a very short story on how Bonsai AI was born, really from the pain that I've experienced in the job I loved.
Thank you. So what's your why? Like, what's the thing that motivates you and drives you in order to create success for yourself and the world?
Yeah, it's a very big question. I think to be completely transparent, I'm a very big achiever. So first of all, I love to achieve things, and it doesn't have to be monetary. It's just basically challenging myself. So I'm constantly competing with myself over something, and that really a big motivation for me. When it came to learning and development and employee development, that's really been my career for the whole life. At the same time, I've always been challenging not just myself, I've been challenging status quo. And so one of the things that I've realized, I cannot hold my peace if I see that something is not working or I think it could work better, even if companies have been doing it forever. So ultimately, I always got myself on the edge of getting fired because I always would challenge status quo, either at being too early at the company or kind of saying you don't have enough experience. But ultimately, those edges got my promotions. And so I had a super rapid growth in terms of my career. I've been promoted literally every 2 to 9 months for 7 years straight. And the reason was because I always challenged status quo. And the why behind it was because I truly believe that there is a better way to do it, that's going to make people happier. And ultimately, I realized in life a few years ago that my gift is to explain complex things to people in an easy way and inspire them to live a better life and enjoy their workplaces. And so I gifted my life in a way to that and to bring that to more than one company every 3 to 5 years.
Thank you. So tell us, how does it work to create video courses with AI in 15 minutes?
So the first time my co-founder heard this, I kind of came to him and I didn't say, hey, can you do this? I said, I need you to do this. And the first phrase that he answered to me, he's like, are you crazy? And I'm like, no. And so the easy way how I describe AI to people who are really scared of it, I always tell them, look, AI is really like math, right? So in math, you have formula. So AI also lives off the formula. And so my thought behind it was, if it has a pattern, we can use AI to automate that. So I literally went through everything I used to do manually, and I say, can we automate that? And so before creating a training course, as you said, takes so much time. You don't even know where to start. You have to come up with the structure. You have to write the text. You have to come up with examples, build quizzes, not to even say generate videos, like create videos, right? Video content is so difficult to do, and it's expensive, and it's hard to get. Like even stock videos are hard to get for one standalone human being because it costs so much money. It's ridiculous, and industry was really monopolized. And so we came in from the perspective how to bridge that gap. And ultimately, yes, you can use ChatGPT probably to create like a base structure. But first of all, it's not going to repeat for every course you're doing. It's not going to have correct data all the time. It's going to hallucinate a lot. It's also not safe to put your documentation in ChatGPT licenses you use right now because they're not secured. So ultimately, we asked, how can this all be secured, fast, and deliver it? And so we basically use a lot of artificial intelligence tools, as well as a lot of in-house development to really take the hardest process behind the scene now and leave people with a very easy tool where they just put a course name, who's their learner, so now it can be super tailored to the role. You can say, what's the level of that course? Is it for the beginners in that field? Is it for intermediate or somebody advanced? You select the language out of 29 languages, and boom, we generate for you in a few seconds objectives for the course that you validate. We generate course structure, core text, course quizzes, and my most exciting part, videos. And so we have 3 types of videos: technical video, general video, and videos with digital twins. So imagine, Lily, right now, me and you talking, but it could be our twins talking instead of us that look exactly like us. So that's what you can do in 15 minutes.
Wow, that sounds fascinating. So I want to ask you about the content, okay? The reason I want to ask you this is because I have seen some people using AI in order to generate videos. And it is, first of all, very obvious they have, because the videos are like, robot-like, so they're not so exciting. Second, you know that the prompt will actually generate something that is dependent on the actual prompt. So if you have a really good prompt, then you're going to create really good content. And if you don't, you can come up with, a lot of crappy content nobody wants to pay anything for. And thirdly, the videos, for example, I've tried other platforms, and what I've noticed is, first, they cannot actually copy my voice. And I'm not sure if that's because I'm from Romania and my accent is very strange. So I'm not like a typical like American or UK, person. And secondly, my actual face, can it be replicated in a way that I look like a real person and not like a robot again? So, a lot of different objections, but I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was exactly like you just about 2 years ago, and I was just sharing that experience at the conference in Montreal a few weeks ago. Before avatars were really not realistic. You can definitely tell, and obviously that was a big objection for the training, as well as I do agree with you. To create a really good content, it takes not only a good prompt, it takes the consistency of doing it over and over again. Where even with like current ChatGPT or their competitors, you cannot get the same style over and over. So it took us, first of all, for content itself, it took us many months to work over through the hallucination, and then we have a lot of instructions, multiple layers of instructions and verification to ensure it's not only giving you relevant information, relevant examples, but it's also tailored to adults with the proper adult learning practices for the business environment, not the school environment. In terms of avatars, so this is crazy because the innovation went ahead so much. So what I did in the last few months, I've done a few tests on my social media where I've created an avatar for my training video, and I've been posting every second week videos with me talking and with my avatar talking. You won't believe, none of my friends picked it up until until I literally told them. And so what I started doing, I started using the same video to create different content in their native language. And so they were like so confused because the truth is it was so good. So I'm Ukrainian, you're Romanian, I'm Ukrainian. What I did to the point that we used my English training video, and then we've translated it to the Ukrainian language. My avatar was literally speaking like a native, exactly like I speak in Ukrainian. I was shocked. So I told my family, my friends, I was like, there is literally one video that I have. I by now keep looking at it, and I'm like, if I would lose my memory tomorrow and somebody will tell me that this is me, I would 100% believe it. That's how good it got.
Wow, it is quite scary to think that someone could actually copy me and I could be saying something I don't believe in, and they could be sharing that online saying that I did say that, right? That is quite scary. So I wonder, what about the what is being used in order to create these replica videos? They need, for example, to already have a video of me speaking like this in order to copy something like this and kind of turn it into like a replica of me saying something different, but with the same sort of like outfit and mouth movements, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you're right. So typically companies that provide avatars, they would need from you about 2 to 5 minute video recorded, ideally in a good quality. So sometimes like we help with the studio and things like that. That being said, you do have to share your biometric permission to use your biometric data. So this is kind of becoming a new law, new decisions, new monetizing opportunities. Some people are already selling their voices, their avatars to the companies that produce content. I've had somebody reach out to me and kind of asking me advice, should they go for it or should they not? So deep fakes, to your point, becomes now one of the new cybersecurity threats. It's already been happening since 2019. And so for people, it's very important to monitor how and really read how their data will be used. And then you're in charge of giving your permission. But yes, to your point, if somebody can have exactly the same voice like you, right, you can call to the bank, they can replicate it. So you really need to validate what is the verification process. The example in our company, we have a real human actually validating all videos created with avatar, because one of the avatars is my avatar. So if somebody is not properly using my avatar, this could create damage to our entire company, to the industry, right? So there is pros and cons on both sides for sure. And then you still need to provide some data because your movement, your type of speaking, your way of speaking, right, still will be replicating from that.
Thank you. So what's the best way to create a course that is actually useful for people? Because let's say if you just give your tool a prompt and then you don't have the actual content to feed it, then you'll come up with something quite generic, right? And normally you would have to already have some content that you're generating yourself. And I think that's actually your content, right? So So you basically need to have some sort of like PDF or Word document that you feed it. And then that way you can have a video course that is useful, that has actually your information you normally teach. And that is a more useful way to use this tool. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. If you have a document or some sort of information, I say even if you put the bullet points, it doesn't have to be full written document. So it could be anything up to 1,000 pages, normally in PDF, that you can upload. And then even if your document is on all kinds of topics, we would normally select what's relevant to the specific course title and course audience that you've selected. So this way you don't have to, go through the whole document. At the same time, yes, if you have a document, much better. We take that as a core. So your content becomes the primary resource for it, and then it being just enhanced and restructured to make sure that nothing is missing. And then the video could be generated off that. And then after you did it in one language, you can translate it to multiple languages in a matter of a few minutes as well.
Wow. So that means that, because you said that the limit is actually 1,000 pages, that means that, let's say, all the authors that I know could potentially turn their how to do something, books, in 15 minutes into video courses and instantly start monetizing that, because they already have the knowledge they typically want to teach, or they have already taught about that particular subject. Am I right in saying that?
Absolutely correct.
Wow, that is so fascinating. I love this tool. Okay, so tell me how it works in terms of like the monetization part of it. So how much do you charge? And is it, I mean, I'm sure this is going to be something that changes over time, but how much do you charge? Is it per number of words, or is it per, what kind of limits are there in terms of using this tool?
Absolutely. So we initially started as a learning management platform, and because we had so much demand for just the course creation, this is one of the newest products that just being released. And typically most AI products that you'll see on the market right now are going to be credit-based system. The reason for that is because AI is really goes based on the generation. So you kind of pay as you go, as you use. You typically would start with a small subscription. So our subscription packages start at $39 per month. That gives you somewhere between 100 credits, and then 100 credits you can dedicate to course type that you want. So let's say you can just do a text. So text module going to cost you 2 credits. So you can create like hundreds with $39. You can go to videos. So depending what kind of video you want, it's going to cost you between 10 credits to 15 credits. So normally the first months, you're going to go kind of as a trial, and then you'll understand how many credits you use, how you can use that. And we have a very simple way to top up your credits. So that this way, it's really more pay as you go.
Thank you. So how many video courses can you create per month in terms of the subscription that you have? Let's say the top subscription that you have.
With the top subscription, we have enterprise subscription. So our top ones will be enterprise, where you can even have unlimited generation. Usually it's for the companies of 40,000 employees plus. With let's say consumers, so one-time users, our top package is $299, and it gives you 1,000 credits. Right now, actually, if you sign up before the end of the month, you can double that. So it's going to be 2,000 credits. That will give you about 200 to 300 video lessons, and depending if you want to use avatars or not.
Thank you. So how does Bonsai AI compare versus the other tools that are replicating and cloning your image in video? So how does it compare in terms of visually? As in, is it better visually in a way that you look more like a real person? Is it like a better kind of clone?
To be honest with you, I'm super picky on the quality. And so we pretty much right now have the most exceptional quality you can find. And then we always keep an eye. So we do work with different partners on different feature sets. And we always trying to go with the best on the market. So I definitely confident to say we are the best on the market, and hard for us to compare because most of the features, most of the companies that you'll see, they literally will provide you system where you're going to go and manually do a lot of stuff. We're the only ones who have everything automated. And we're the only course provider that actually generates videos. So in most cases, any other course provider would give you an ability to generate text, some quizzes, but nobody does videos because it's, first of all, expensive. Second, it requires a lot of development. And we still decided to go for it because it's the best thing for training.
Thank you. Once the videos are generated and the course are generated, is there like a recurring cost as well that the entrepreneur has to pay for already generated videos? Or once you've generated a certain number of courses you want to generate, then you don't have to continue subscribing?
You don't have to continue. So subscriptions are monthly, quarterly, or annually. You can export all of the courses in SCORM format, which is most common to take it to other learning platforms. So it's super easy. You can just go in and do it all in 1 month, use as many credits as you need, and you do not pay for courses you already created, unless you're still keeping the platform active. So you have access to the courses, you'll pay a regular subscription per month.
Thank you. What are the biggest challenges that you find your Bonsai AI tool is solving for entrepreneurs that other platforms are not solving?
I think when it comes to video, I've been the person who used to manually do it in 5 different tools, and I would have to match the sound. I would have to change the backgrounds, merge it all, wait. So even if I've been really good with technology forever, it still took me very long time, and I still pay different licenses. So let's say instead of paying $39 for Bonsai, you're going to go in and pay $39 for audio tool. You're going to pay for avatars separately. You're going to pay for a ChatGPT separately. And so this amount of tools, you typically would need 4 to 5 minimum. Plus, you're going to need to spend a lot of time creating it. If not you, somebody on your team. So you're going to pay salary. So first of all, it really, really, really speeds up the time. Time is always money. And I think a lot of people, what we've seen, a lot of people are still not calculating how much money. So that's like awareness of how much money you can save, but also the quality. The quality, even as much as I've been really, really good at doing it manually at some point, creating voiceovers, scripts, always going in, making sure you have a perfect video on the background. As a human being, we still do errors. So and every time you do an error, it's gonna cost you money, because when you have to redo it, you regenerate, you repay money, where we kind of automate that, and it automatically merges the voices and the translations and the scripts, and they're free from spelling or grammar mistakes. So that's massive too. That's like a cost that we don't think of until it happens. And we can really free you up to do so much more and develop your business, right? Because in the end of the day, entrepreneurs are supposed to spend 80% of their time developing the business and selling instead of doing tools. And right now, it's vice versa.
Thank you. How can Bonsai AI be used to reduce operational costs and increase efficiency?
So it would be exact same way, because right now, normally on average, let's say any business that needs to create a training course, it takes about 1 month to do a good training course. If you're doing it with video content, either recorded in the studio or just your own editing, iterations, verifications. And that on average been costing $30,000 for companies in North America in the past decade. So all of the companies that put money into the training, that's about how much it would cost. Now imagine instead of doing that, you spend 15 minutes to generate, maybe another 30 minutes to do your additional edits. Then you translate in 15 minutes, your course is ready to be deployed internationally. It literally costed you $10 or so. So that's massive. And if you multiply that, so my good example in the company I used to work, we spend about $2 million in 3 years to develop 300 courses for entire organization. It was a small company, just 200 employees. So imagine the cost. Now I can do exact same time with maybe $200,000-$300,000 in 4 months. So time, money, and efficiency. And then that's going to cause a lot of improved retention and optimized better revenue.
Thank you. What are the possible uses of Bonsai AI in order to reduce operational costs?
Yeah, so this is really great. Right now, it's a great time because really 99% of companies in North America have learning management system. That being said, means 99% of companies create training. So absolutely every single company, every single training that's been done before could now be optimized. One of the top, I think the first ideas that comes to our clients when we talk to them on the first demos, it always comes around compliance and security. So first, compliance has been a big pain point. Nobody likes to create it. Nobody likes to complete it, but it has to be done, right? So, and every single year, companies need to be retrained on compliance. So not only trainers don't like to create it in the first place, you have to reinvent it the second year to make it a bit different, to be compliant. Now you can, instead of doing that, you simply put it in the system does it for you. You say simple word, kind of change it to a different style, and it's all done and ready to be deployed. And experts actually can go and do really cool development training instead of spending time on operational stuff. You can apply this to any type of training: onboarding, upskilling, management training, leadership training, AI training, and any industry and any role.
Thank you. Now, every time I do an online course, it takes me a really long time. The reason why it takes me a really long time is because I need to show the before and afters. So for example, let's say before me, people were thinking about publishing this kind of cover and it looked terrible. And now, with my help, it looks brilliant and this person looks like a superstar, right? So I have to use this kind of before and after, and there's no way around it because I have to kind of demonstrate my work because it's very visual, right? Or let's say I do an influencer website, and then again, I have the screenshots of, okay, before this person, okay, you can see in the left, no website, or they had a website and it looked terrible. And now look, they are amazing, right? So I do wonder, is there any way to integrate images? And the thing is, that's a problem, because when you start to integrate images and screenshots into your video course, that's when the thing starts to take a really long time to create, right? So if I'm supposed to create a presentation, it will take me quite a long time to kind of gather all those images. Is there any solution for that, or not really? Is it mostly for people that already have no images to include?
Yes and no to this answer. So to this question, I think we need to remember that AI is a tool. So there is still going to be people who are in control always. And that's kind of how we work with AI. And so in this case, what we always say, we optimize 90% of the process, and 10% still need to be done by the human being who really an expert. And so instead of wasting time on the base, they spending time on the most important part of the training course. So this is a great example. So we will give you an ability to really easily edit your video. Let's say instead of the video that we've selected for that element, you'll just put your screenshot or your piece of video. That's one option. And then we still keep the script going, right? So you don't have to it's not going to mess up anything. Let's say it this way. So it's super easy to edit. You just swap. On another side, you still have an ability to edit images in the content, simple upload. And that makes it super fast because everything else is done. So it's a seconds done. And then there is also an ability to do technical video. So technical video might not really be necessarily for this use case, but let's say if you want to show people step by step what not to do or what to do, you can record your screen and then upload it to us, where we go in to provide steps. So steps, details, usually it's more for like a software training or step by step elements. I do see it as a mix of what you need to do. So you can use partially that functionality and still a little bit of editing yourself.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential, so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.